We were once a normal family, but thanks to the media, our lives have been interrupted. And we'd like privacy, and I would like to go back to being a normal husband. But I can't, because I can't breathe, I can't walk. People say that's an act. Let me try to stand up. Let me try to stand up. Exactly, exactly.
No, that's not someone on SNL pulling off a new sketch, a little bit of a preview for it. That is Nicholas Alahverdian. He's an American con man, apparently, and also he's a fugitive. He's wanted for his sexual assaults that he's been pulling off. And there he is trying to make sure that people don't believe that's who he really is. Here's what he was up to. Let's look at this. This is a mugshot, at least as we talk about him. He faked his death as well in 2020 to avoid sexual assault and fraud charges. And then he fled to Europe. He was found in a hospital in Scotland when he got sick with COVID. Now he's pretending to be this sick Scottish man, and his name is no longer Nicholas Alahverdian. It's now Arthur Knight. I don't know where he got that name from. He's now a Scottish man. Let's keep it real. So there he is with all of his issues. But he also appeared on NBC's Dateline. This story has gone full international, considering he's over in Scotland. But he's still claiming to be this guy, Arthur Knight. Here's more of his act. See if you can find out if this is really him.
What do you say to someone who believes that you are Nicholas Alahverdian?
I am not, Andrea, I am not Nicholas Alahverdian. I do not know how to make this clear.
What do you say to people who say these are crocodile tears? He's putting on a show. This is all an act.
Oh,
Andrea,
no,
that's a low blow. That's a right low blow.
Oh, no, Nicholas. I mean, Arthur. I mean, someone. There he is crying. See if you can find some tears. I mean, you can tell when someone pushed the crocodile tears line, he decided to ramp it up a little bit more. But let's keep it real. The best part is when he tried to stand up. Let's watch that again.
Because I can't breathe, I can't walk. People say that's an act. Let me try to stand up. Let me try to stand up. Exactly, exactly.
Exactly. See, I tried. See, exactly. Now, these Scottish outlets have also been reporting on this. Maybe they can get something out of it that Dateline couldn't, Dan. Watch this.
His extradition case has rolled through the courts for months. This man calls himself Arthur Knight, Glasgow-based and married to Miranda. US authorities say he is, in fact, Nicholas Rossi, and they want him extradited to stand trial.
The prosecution narrative is that you are an alleged rapist. There are restraining orders, assaults, fraud, in a very colourful criminal record that reflects a dangerous sexual predator.
Despite his denials, America wants to extradite a man they say has more than a dozen aliases. He's accused of faking his own death, complete with a hoax obituary and a call to a priest posing as the grieving widow.
She sounded like Hyacinth Bouquet, a very high-pitched English woman's accent.
Father Bernard Healy agreed to a request to hold a memorial mass until the police stepped in.
The detective said to me he thought it was Nicholas using a voice disguiser.
This guy's really, really trying. One last party. Remember that guy's face? He had the glasses on. He had the breathing mechanism over his mouth and nose. See if you can identify if he's the same person we saw in that mugshot. So does this reporter. Watch.
An international manhunt took police to this hospital last December. The man calling himself Arthur Knight had caught COVID. While he lay on a ventilator, officers were alerted to tattoos on his body. A court would later be told that fingerprints showed a match to Nicholas Rossi. How do these images compare to the man facing extradition?
Could you take your glasses off? Would you mind? And are you able to take off your mask? Do you see a similarity?
Do you?
The eyebrows are the same.
Well, I guess that does it, Dan. Whose side are you on? Is this guy getting away with it?
I mean, I don't mean to take this in too much of an ableist direction, but in the first interview, he was like, I am not Neville Chamberlain. But in this one, he's like, know, do I look the same or do I not? By the way, not even a good like South London accent, let alone like a Scottish accent. Like,
Oh, you can tell. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Where,
yeah.
which area?
yeah, it's like someone who has watched a lot of James Bond in the 60s, their idea of what a British person sound like. And then it's like you need to remind them, by the way, you're supposed to be Scottish. It's like, oh, well, give me a Scottish phrase. Oh, fish sticks. Like, it's comical. It's like the fact that, oh, he might have used a sound box, like a voice vocoder to change his, if he's, I mean, yes, his crimes are very serious. This is, sorry, this is all hitting me at one point.
Yeah.
You're gonna flee to Scotland? You're gonna flee to like, there's some places where it's a little bit harder to get extradited to.
I was wondering.
I don't know why I'm doing like Crime 101 here on the watch list for whoever's interested. I don't know, game for free, right? But there's countries you could go to make it harder to get extradited to than like Scotland, which has like a pretty good deal with the US, which is hence why they tracked you down to the hospital and got your tattoos and fingerprints while you had COVID. Like, he just seems so bad at crime in addition to doing bad crimes. It's sort of hilarious because you get a little bit into the id of this person who goes, I'm so smart, I can get away with it. You're all so stupid that I can put minimal effort into this and get away with it. Perhaps because it's worked for a little bit while, but now there's such a lot of attention onto it, it's not working. And then super last thing.
Yeah.
Scottish and British media in general always way harder than American media. And American media, they didn't go, this is your face, take your mask off, are you the same? I'm telling you, once again, we need to get a little bit tougher in this media space.
Well, because they're worried about access, they're worried about whatever. In this particular case, not necessarily access, but when it comes to political folks that they don't want to embarrass with reality and truth, it's because they're worried they're going to be cut out of any more access to them. But by the way, as you pointed out, and I want to highlight it, they matched fingerprints and they matched the tattoos. Yo, listen, if you guys are looking for me, I can't get rid of this any kind of way easily. It goes all the way up. So whatever tattoos this guy has that they matched, and also matched those fingerprints that apparently he didn't burn off because he hasn't watched enough crime drama movies that don't really work out anyway, he thought he'd get away with it. But they still have to say, well, looks like your eyebrows are kind of the same. Bro, how about the tattoos and how about the fingerprints? Come on, bro. I mean, I know they're tough, Dan, but it's a little bit unnecessary at that point. Just ask him about the tattoos.